Bing bong. It's like someone's ringing the doorbell. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm excited about tonight's topic, organization, organizing our life. So we're going to give it another second. Okay, and the call is recording. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So tonight we're going to talk about time, commitment, and eliminating distractions. Because, you know, very honestly, if we're going to make this work, we have to put in the time. We have to put in the time. Whether you do it in the pockets of your time or, you know, however you do it, it's got to be consistent. And I'm going to show you guys what my desk looks like, and I'm going to share with you some of the things that I do in my home, how I keep systemized, because if I let it, I mean, you know, things would get really crazy. So I'm going to just go around really quick, and I'm going to ask you just to briefly yell out or call out something that's in your way, something that's a distraction, an obstacle, something that messes with you getting busy. So really quick, let's go around the room and let's hear what some of your distractions or annoyances are, and I'll just go in order from how I see you. I meant to unmute everyone, and I think I muted everyone. Jen, let's start with you, Jennifer Peterson. Welcome.
Hi. If my phone or my iPad is sitting there, sometimes that distracts me if I want to get on it, so I need to push that to the phone.
Okay, awesome. How about you, Irina?
Kids.
Kids. How about you, Lisa and Donna?
For me, it's like waiting too long to do my to-do list for the day, not doing it the night before.
Okay. And what keeps you waiting too long? Just jerking around, getting busy with other stuff?
No, I end up like checking my email and stuff before I make the to-do list.
Okay, got it.
And then I get caught up.
I start too many projects and not complete it. I'll try to multitask and not finish one thing, so then I get distracted.
Okay. Do you feel like you're making too many things?
Yeah, too much on my plate. I need to like minimize it and declutter my life.
Okay. All right. How about you, Courtney?
I need more hours in the day.
Yeah, like most of us, that's for sure.
I know. But no, like same thing. I need to focus on like two things and then just go for it, because I'm making too many plans and not like following up on all of them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Sally? We don't hear you. Still don't hear you. I'll move on to Christine until you get the sound working. How about you, Christine?
My job. My job and catching up on errands when I'm off.
Okay. How about Jenny? Gotcha. Got you. Work, kids, family, life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, for me, I think it's just really setting the hours. I mean, it's like my day gets away from me if I don't, you know, specifically say I'm going to sit my butt down now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I wrote that in the thing about setting my alarm for like 20 minutes, because I can force myself to do it in 20-minute increments. If I have like a full day, it gets pushed.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk to you guys about schedules and brain farts and keeping noise and, you know, the noise down and setting reminders, all things that I have learned along the way that I think have been helpful to me. Let's take a couple more. How about you, Liz?
I definitely spend too much time scrolling through Facebook.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and I definitely find it hard. I have 2 young kids that I try to schedule things during their nap times, and the days that I do that, they seem to not nap during those times, which is such a pain.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I have 2 DSs and 2 iPads, and I ride them a lot. And you know, you do what you got to do to make it work. Anyone else want to share? Any distractions? Okay, so let's start slow, right? Let's start slow. And I made some notes, and what I have here is the first thing that I can tell you guys that has.
Hey, Angela, can you mute everybody out?
Yep, doing that right now. Thanks. Okay, and you guys can just unmute yourselves if you have something that you want to say. Guys, I have an empty desk. Empty. I have the notes for today. I have my planner that I schedule appointments in. I am obsessed with this hourly planner. It's like a doctor's planner. I have a couple of sticky notes on my desk. These are the ladies that are racing to 6-star. This is a webinar with Susan Sly on the 10th. I have a lamp, an e-shot, and my index card box. Okay? If you have a ton of shit on your desk, get a shoebox or a Tupperware, dump it all in there, and sift through it on Sunday. But get it out of the way. I have a chair here, and I wish I can show you guys better, but I have a chair here on my desk. And I have to clear my desk. I found my kid's DS on my desk, my sports bra that I came home and threw down. My husband felt the need, on his laptop, came to my computer area to do work, which made no sense. I'm like, you know, you can bring this anywhere. My daughter calls this a tickle stick. This is all the shit that would accumulate. But the minute I get over here, I dump it. Dump it on a chair, dump it on a box, and I need my work area to be empty. Aside from my planner, oh, did I freeze? No, okay. I'm gonna try to show you guys my desk without like breaking anything. But I have nothing. I'm gonna break my whole computer. But aside from my planner, aside from a pen, and aside from an index card box, I have nothing. I have a highlighter in here. I have my Orange Theory bracelet that I'm using tomorrow, and I have another energy shot in here. You can't have stuff on your desk. You can't have a million rubber bands inside the drawer, a million paper clips. Honestly, even if you just toss it in a shoebox and deal with it later, deal with it on Sunday, because all this stuff, it's a distraction. It really gets in the way. So really what you need is your planner. For me, this is, well, even if you don't have a desk, even if you have like a small area, you know, I have someone who doesn't have an office space. She works from her laptop. But even with the laptop, let's say you don't have a desk, get a planner that's half this size. They have little small ones like this that go in your clutch. They're like half the size, right? So you have to make do with what you have. You have to hide things. You have to put things away. You've got to have a place for everything. So of course oh, here's my notes. You see like one thing and it, you know, it would be a mess. So for me, organization and kind of keeping my area is really important. Like I have my laundry room behind me. And, you know, if I didn't control the situation, my husband's underwear would be dangling from the door and, you know, things get out of control. I literally put it in a basket and close the door. I just want it out of my sight. It doesn't have to be organized today. It doesn't have to be done now, but you definitely want it out of your visual. So you want to create some kind of a system. You want to create some kind of organization. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, I mean, I have ideas all day long. I have great ideas popping into my head, like, oh my God, I want to call Lisa and talk to her about this. Oh, I want to film a live video and do the Isobody challenge and show people live how to register. And oh, I wanted to do a grocery shopping list. Guys, I text myself like a crazy person all day long, because when I send myself a text message, it's just an easy reminder, and I don't have a million sticky notes all over the place. Are you guys texting yourself or using notes in your iPhone or setting some kind of reminders? Yeah? Okay, so that's common knowledge. So I would literally like text myself a message, and I would say, don't forget to go to the post office and film the Isobody video for tomorrow. Boom. And I'll get the text message, right? And then I won't highlight it, so it will show me that I have one notification, so that I will look and I will remember. I also set reminders. We have reminders on our phone. And you know what? If I'm having like a funky week, I set myself reminders. In the morning, you're awesome. Wake up and go to the gym. In the afternoon, don't forget 2 snacks, 2 shakes, and keep up with the water, gorgeous. You know, you want to send yourself nice messages, and you want to keep yourself motivated, and you want to keep yourself on your toes. You know, I'm really pushing for a big year this year. Every day, I want to set a reminder in my phone that's going to say, how many conversations are you going to have? How many people are you going to share the story with? How many lives are you going to change? And seeing these kick-ass reminders in your phone, you know, you're giving yourself that message. You're sending yourself a positive note when you're in a positive state, and it reminds you of that, right? So let's say like we put on our favorite song. And why is that your favorite song? Because maybe it brings back memories. It's that positive state. So when you send yourself that message from a positive state, you've got what it takes to make it. Let's get those conversations. And then the next day when you're feeling funky and grumpy and you look in your thing, it reminds you of that state, right? And what you have to do. So use the voice to text. Set reminders. Another thing I do is that in our business of duplication, we are very often sending and saying the same thing over and over and over, right? So I keep different files in my notes. I don't know if you guys can see, but here's the notes section of my phone, and this is new person, how to post on Facebook. And it's already pre-written. So if I'm like, hey girl, you had amazing results on your first week of the program. Are you open to sharing? And if she says yes, I don't have to type the whole spiel all over again. I already have it saved in my notes. And all it says is, all right, post this. After watching my friend Angela go from a size 12 to a size 4, I decided to give her nutritional program a try. I'm so excited to say that while most people packed on the holiday pounds, I lost 7 pounds. Then tag me. Please remember the following. Don't mention isogenics. Don't answer any questions publicly. When people ask you what you're doing, simply inbox them. Then when you inbox them, let them know that you're still kind of new, and do your best to get me on a 3-way phone call without divulging too much information. You're basically creating curiosity and being in a hurry to take it offline. Then ask for a time and tell. You've got this, girl. How many of these I have sent out over and over and over, right? Like the welcome email, like certain things, certain pictures when you welcome someone to our Facebook support group. Save those pictures in your phone under your favorite, you know, that welcome message, or, you know, you've got this, girl, or what's that Ryan Gosling one? Hey, sexy, drink them shakes. You know, save your favorite pictures and save things in your favorites and save things in your notes to make it easy for you. That's what this is about. It's about simplifying your life. How many times am I going to create the same message, right? So a lot of things we can have some shortcuts. So schedules, okay? This for me is an absolute must when it comes to scheduling. I have to make at least 3 to 5 new Facebook friends. I have to. I have grown my entire business off of building myself and sharing my story and meeting new people on Facebook. I met my beautiful friend Jade on Facebook. I got an opportunity to reconnect with Jenny on Facebook. I messaged Courtney, who was a girlfriend of a trainer who I friended on Facebook. I loved her lifestyle and what she was doing. Facebook, as a busy mother of young kids that really do keep me busy, Facebook is my connection to the social world, right? And we are network marketing professionals. So no matter what, you have to be connecting with people on a daily basis. And there's plenty of different ways to connect. Some people go to networking events. Some people do launch parties. Some people, do it on social media. Some people do live events on social media. There's no right or wrong way to build your business. But I've built mine primarily on Facebook. How many of you can say that 95% of your enrollments have come from Facebook? Is that majority of you guys? Okay, so most of us are building a business on Facebook, and we're going to talk about that very clearly and specifically tomorrow about branding and systems and how to build and how to create leads. But if your job is to be a network marketing professional, you have got to commit to a system in your book every single day. And my system is making 3 new Facebook friends and connections. Very simply, very easily. I join a group, East Brunswick Mamas. I ask them for a great restaurant, a wonderful pet groomer, any gym recommendations. I genuinely like these recommendations. I genuinely use them. Everything I do is authentic. We always have to be authentic. And then I would friend her and I would say, Mary, thank you so much. That restaurant was fantastic. My husband and I went there on Friday. And I would send her a friend request. But because I am consistent on Facebook, Mary gets to see into my life, into my world, and she sees what I'm doing. But unless I'm constantly bringing new people in, you're sitting on an old batch of clients, and basically you're waiting. You're waiting for them to come around. And we don't want to do that. We're not waiters. We're go-getters, right? So my system is I speak to 3 new prospects a day. I share my story with them. I have 3 follow-ups a day. And I make 3 new connections a day. 3, 3, and 3. And that is majority of how the millionaires in the company have done it. 3 follow-ups, 3 new conversations, and 3 story shares, right? Because if you're not on the phone and you're not sharing your story and you're just posting shit on Facebook all day, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait for my dreams to happen. I want to get people on the phone. Sometimes I have to be more direct. Sometimes I have to start texting people, messaging people. Hey, there's a great promo. I'd love to tell you about it. I think you would be amazing at this. Let's get on the phone. All I'm doing is sharing the story. Whether they do it or not is up to them. There is no pushing. There's no pulling. There's no convincing. I'm educating people and sharing the story with them. But if you're not sharing the story, you won't have an opportunity to change people's lives. And what I can tell you is the people who have the most, I don't want to say guts because it comes, with time, but the people who share the story the most, the people who are picking up the phone the most, the people who are doing the most talking have the biggest business because they're enrolling the most people, they're recruiting, they're casting the vision, they're talking with people. If you're not talking, this is not going to grow. No matter how fantastic you look in your Lululemon Spanx, no matter how much weight you lost, no matter how sexy you think you are because your program got you feeling so good, unless you are sharing that story with other people, you may as well keep it to yourself. It's not going to get you to grow. Talking about decluttering, back to the organization. As far as the organization, I really do a lot of my decluttering on Sundays. Sundays are my days off. And what I want to talk with you guys are a little bit about business hours before I get to the decluttering portion. Some people make this look like a job, a hard job. When they answer their phones at 11 o'clock at night and when they're picking up text messages at 7. And I get it. We're eager to have a business and we're eager to help people. But you know how you make it look? Like it's fucking work. People don't want to do network marketing because it's work. People want to do this because it's fun. You have time freedom. You get to do this at your leisure, right? So setting business hours and not wearing yourself thin is so important. I try my best not to answer text messages or inboxes from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. My husband will divorce me if I don't put the phone down. You have to make time for family. You have to make time for friends. You have to make time for doing the things that you love so much. So set up business hours. For me, because I do this full time, my business hours are when I get home from the gym, 10:30. I work until 2:30, 4 straight hours where I'm doing my 3, 3, and 3. Then I get my girls from school. I kind of try not to take any calls between that time. I mean, if it's a 3-way for someone, I'll squeeze one in here and there. But I won't start back up again until after my kids are bathed and in bed. And then I'll put in 2 more hours from 8 to 10. You've got to do what works for you guys. I want to say ladies, but I think we might have a gentleman on the phone. You've got to make this work for you. I don't want to just keep saying Isogenics, but whatever network marketing company you're with, it's got to be fun. It's got to be exciting. It's got to work in the pockets of your life. And as long as you're consistent, whether you put in 1 hour a day or 5 hours a day, I promise you that the consistency is going to work. I want to share 2 examples with you. The woman who signed me up was a total stranger. My friend Jen posted that she lost 9 pounds in 9 days on Facebook, and I said, whatever she's doing, I got to have it. She didn't want anything to do with it. She goes, I'll just give you to the girl who signed me up. And I said, all right, I didn't know anything about the business. I said, I'll call her. I called her up. I started with a pack. And I think that my friend Jen is probably kicking herself in the rear end right now because my coach, the one who signed me up, hit 182nd millionaire maybe 4 months before I hit 193. And I just always think about my friend Jen, that had she not given me away and placed me in her tree, my entire team would have been with her. I mean, for God's sake, she could have put her grandmother on the other side. You know what I mean? So whether you're doing this seriously or not, or in the pockets of your spare time, number 1, don't give anyone away. Number 2, you want to show people the possibility and explain to them what's possible. I mean, in the beginning, I was so faux pas. I was like, I'll just sign her up for the 30-day. I don't want her to think I'm making any money on her. Shame on me for not sharing this secret, that people are making millions and millions of dollars in this industry. And you have to cast a vision. You have to. That's why we started implementing the day 5 phone call. That's the excitement call. That's when you want to say, well, if you feel great, guess what? If you find 2, you get 150. If they find 2, you get 450, and so on. You get 16, 32, 72. I mean, you guys have seen this. So when people are like, are you a part of this pyramid? I say, yes. Yes. It's wonderful. It's the most incredible thing that's happened to me, because whether you have someone 2 levels or 82 levels, you still get 6% compensation on every single person underneath you, which is incredible. I mean, people in our company are making, anywhere from, my gosh, $25,000 a week. I've never even heard of such numbers in the real world, So you've got to really treat this like a business. And when you are open 24/7, it gives people the impression that you're desperate. and I'm not desperate. You know, I think you're going to be the one that's lucky if I give you an opportunity to join me, because this has changed my life and so many others. So I want you guys, I know you want the enrollment, and I know we get excited, and I know when somebody texts, we're like Pavlov's dogs. We're like, ah. But honestly, you know, keep your shoulders back, your chin up high, have some respect for yourself, for your business, and treat this as such. Set up hours, you know, design your business hours. What are the times that work for you? I need to go to the gym because I'm angry if I don't. So I dedicated that 9:15 to 10:15 for me. I come home, I have a shake, and then from 10:30 to 2:30, those are my power hours. That's when I'm most hyper. That's when I have the most energy. I mean, you call me with an enrollment at 11 o'clock at night, I am not excited to talk to you. I'm not. So know when is your power hour. Know when you're at your best. That's really important. And schedule times. Of course, it's not always possible, but do the best that you can. Business hours are so important, and I take Sundays off. You know, my team knows that I don't do any calls on Sunday. I don't do any calls on Sunday. Sunday for us is family day, and Sundays for me is declutter day, right? So all the crap that you threw in the box, that you got out of your office, all the disorganization that you kind of moved out of your visual, all the millions of papers that you have on your desk, Sunday is the day that I go through it. Now, it's either getting filed in a folder, and don't ever label a folder miscellaneous, because that'll be the biggest shit folder that you have in your life, okay? There's no such thing as miscellaneous. It's either bills, receipts, or it's going in the shredder. Do you know what I mean? I have a shredder right near my desk, and if it's not as important as a insurance statement, as my yearly taxes, as my W-2s, it's either getting filed or it's getting shredded. We don't need all this stuff. And you know what? I have to be honest with you. Same with clothes. Same with clothes. This is ridiculous, but I have shoes from like 14 years that I probably haven't touched in 14 years. I don't know if the pointy toe is coming back in style. I'll have to ask Lisa about that. She's a stylist. But I have some of the hideous shoes in my closet, and I don't get rid of them. I don't know why. But I started taking stuff out. I started going through my jeans. I said, you know what? I don't need a size 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. I don't. Number one, I'm never going back to a 10 and a 12. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. If you want to keep the 6s and 8s, that's fine. Narrow it down. 10 pairs of your favorite jeans, maybe 20 of your favorite blouses. If you've got a blouse in there that you haven't worn in ages, my gosh, gift it away. Give it away. Donate it. I get more use out of my clothes now that I have less of them than I did before. It's too much. It's overwhelming. You know, we have to, unless it's really special, there's no sentimental value. I mean, honestly, if there was a fire in my house and I had to grab the most important things, it would probably be a milk crate. A milk crate, maybe my childhood diary, my yearbook, and some special photo albums. That's it. You know, all that stuff, it's just stuff. It doesn't bring value to us. Do you know what I mean? All that stuff is replaceable, you know, and most of the time it clogs you. It clogs your brain. It clogs your head. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is delegating responsibility. How many of you guys have taken the color code test? Oh, I love it so much. Anyone here a red? If you are a red, raise your hand. Irina's a red. Lisa's a red. Christine, Jenny. Red are control freaks. Beware. The hardest thing for me, and I'll send you guys the link in our group. I think it's a wonderful personality test. And then I have some YouTube videos to explain what each one means. But the hardest thing for me is giving up control. I left home when I was 18 years old. I've been taking care of myself my entire life. I am the type of person that will ask my husband to wash the dishes, and then 5 minutes later I'll come downstairs and I'll say, move over because you didn't wash them right. And I'll be huffing and puffing and doing it myself. You know what? Sometimes you got to give up a little bit of control. If you don't give up control, especially in this business, it's not going to give other people an opportunity to shine, to grow, to help. So I have learned that it is important to delegate responsibilities. When you have a team of 500 people, when you have a team of 20,000 people, it is going to be impossible for you to resonate with everyone. Right? Elizabeth's people, they don't relate to me the way they relate to her. So I have to trust that Liz is going to do a great job with the people in our organization, right? And eventually she's going to grow that trust for her people and know that her downline is taking care of their people. It is virtually impossible for you to control the outcome of 20,000. But what you can do is you can delegate responsibility. You can say, Irina, it would help me a great deal if you can post in the Facebook group. Vicky and Danielle, you guys, can you do the Sunday night team call? Dawn, Jenny, would you guys be in charge of Blitz points? Let's put together a book club. Asking for help is the best thing that you can do. Number one, it frees time for you to do the important stuff. And 80% of your business is enrolling. That's the important stuff. When you have a big team, you will get sidetracked with micromanaging, with bullshit, with problems, with he said, she said, and then you get distracted and you're worried about what they're doing. Don't. Delegate responsibilities, be a leader, be a teacher, and learn to trust people and give up that little bit of control. I know as a mom, it's hard. I know as a wife who's the more dominant one, it's hard. But sometimes it's okay to say, husband, why don't you go do the food shopping today? Even if he doesn't get everything that's on your list, let it be. You can't. You have to enlist people to help you. You cannot be everywhere. You cannot be working a 9 to 5. You can't come home and take care of your kids. Then you have to make dinner. Then you have to put everyone to bed. Then you got a pile of laundry sitting there. It's okay to ask for help. You have to let the people in your life know, look, I'm so serious about this. I've got to give at least an hour of my time into this. I know right now it seems like a hobby, but I promise you, just give me a year to prove myself. And I'll show you that this is serious. Can you put Brandon to bed at night? Would you be okay if we ordered out twice a week? Enlist people to help you. I mean, and honestly, when you give the kids little jobs, they feel grown. My kids, they will go into the bathtub. I'm not kidding. My laundry room is right here. And they will leave their underwear on the floor for 3 days. But I have to teach them to help me. So I say, girls, when your bath time is over, bring all the stuff and just throw it in the wash. Just that little bit of time saving, just that little bit of help. The fact that my husband loads and unloads the dishwasher so that I don't have to allows me 2 hours in the evening that I can focus on my business. So if you are a red, if you are a control freak, even if your husband's not going to dress the kids the way you want and they're wearing 2 different socks, let it be. Pick and choose your battles. You need that time. You really do need that time. And I think asking for help for me has been one of the toughest things because I'm always Miss Tuffy, Miss Independent, Miss Self-Sufficient. You know what? It takes a tribe to make this work. A tribe at home and a tribe, for a team. We've got to do this together and really help each other. So what I want to show you guys is my Excel list. my index card list, and how I follow up with people. So when I speak to someone, right, if I don't enroll them, I right away write their name here in the index card box, and I say, Anna Mafzer, conversation, October 31st, financial issues. And then I put it here. And every name stays right here in the index card box. So when I speak to them, they go here. The more new conversations I have, the further back they go. So I start with the people who are in back. And I will do my best to follow up after 2 days, after 2 weeks, and after 2 months. And this box of follow-ups, I mean, it's consistent. I don't stop following up unless they tell me to piss off and never to call them again. But I don't stop following up because most people, they feel very disappointed that they don't sign someone up on the first try. But guess what? Most signups take 4 to 6 exposures. How many of you guys signed up on the first try? Jade and Jenny, Donna and Lisa. Yeah, but Lisa watched for a little while, right? Most people are a little reluctant, and it has nothing to do with your words. It has nothing to do with the way you're presenting the information. I think many of us, when somebody says no, we take that whole rejection factor to a whole different level. Oh my God, Irina took her 3 years. Look at that. And she didn't even sign up with me after I told her. But she's still in my team. But guys, when somebody says no, don't let the past, don't let childhood memories and vulnerabilities and insecurities let that affect you. When somebody's saying no, they're not saying no to you. They're saying no because they're not ready. Maybe they're not ready for a lifestyle change. Maybe they're not ready to give up their wine. Maybe they think it's another gimmick. Maybe financially they're strapped. Maybe their husband is going to torture them for trying a 15th program this year. The no rarely ever has to do with you or your presentation. Sabina, Kyle, and I had a great call today, and she read me an inbox where she messaged this woman from boot camp class, and she said, hey, Gail, I see your boot camp class. I know you've been working out and you're, really busting your hump, and I would love to help you. And the woman wrote back 2 words, like, so cold, not interested. That was it. And for me, I would have been like, oh, the hell with her. No, Sabina kept following up. Hey, Gail, I haven't seen you in boot camp this week. I just want to let you know my results are still great. If you're ever interested, no thanks, was the second response. Sabina, messaged her a 3rd time, and she goes, finally, would you believe after a year, this girl messaged me, sweet as pie, and said, I've been seeing all your posts. I know you're still doing it. I'm finally ready. I mean, had she been offended, had she blocked and deleted her, had she gotten her off her radar and been like all stank with her, things could have been different, but she wasn't. She was professional. She left all the emotional bullshit off the table, and she kept following up, genuinely caring and wanting to help this person. And I applaud her, because today this woman signed up with the President's Pack. So, guys, when they say no, this has nothing to do with you, but I want you to have a list. And I want you to be systemized. I want you to either use the index card box like I have on my desk. I want you to use the planner. Spoke with Jen on Wednesday the 4th. She said no. I would put here Jen Wednesday the 6th to send her a video. Then in 2 weeks, I would go flip right to my calendar, and I would say Friday the 20th, send Jen another link. Ask her if she wants to be a spectator in our group. Maybe I can get her this way. But if you're not making those 4 points of contacts, if you give up after the first touch, they're going to be gone. Is it possible what to say? Sure, Jade. So let's say the person says that That's what she did with you. Tasha, by the way, Sabina told me that she followed up with you for 6 months to a year, right? So, I mean, I signed up to 30-day stop for 2 years and came back a month and a half ago. Yeah, absolutely. People have to come when they're ready. So when I talk with them and they tell me that they're not ready. So it depends what their objection is. You know, if they're really struggling with weight, I love the Jill Birth video. I love it because I don't think there's a person in the world who hasn't watched that Jill Birth. Just Google Jill Birth weight loss YouTube. You'll find it. I mean, this woman's story is magnificent. I don't know a single person that hasn't cried. And if this is someone who's desperate to lose weight, you know, I want to talk to them on an emotional level. Why the heck not? So in 2 days, I would say, hey, you know, Jade, I saw this video and it reminded me of you. I think this would really resonate with you, or I hope this motivates you to really think about it. That's it. In 2 weeks, I would message back and say, hey, Jade, still thinking about you. Can I offer you a video or a 3-way phone call with my coach, or perhaps you would feel comfortable taking a sneak peek in my Cleanse Day support group. And now that we have open house, I know what my day is for open house. So already I'm messaging these follow-ups and saying, hey, I have open house in my, you know, Facebook support group on January 20th. I would love to show you how incredibly supportive and motivational the group is, just to give you something to think about. See if you like it. See if you can relate to any of the women in the group, right? And then 2 months later, I would follow up and say, so, Jade, you know, you said you were going to start boot camp, right? You told me you were going to count Weight Watcher points. How have you been doing? You know, and of course she's going to say she hasn't lost about, but, you know, you want to follow up. You want to follow up because you care. And I think that when you care about people and you continuously follow up, that's what makes a difference. Not for the enrollment. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's your progress? How's your mom? You told me in the last conversation that your mom wasn't doing well. Guys, people, most people who gain weight or who have weight issues do that for a reason. And they do so for a reason. It's important to know why. What is the core of their problem? So during these enrolling conversations, and Thursday we're going to learn how to share the story, either Wednesday or Thursday, I might flip it. Ask people, you know, what are your goals to lose weight? Well, why do you want to lose weight? You know, I haven't been feeling well. Well, what's changed for you? Why? What's happening? Well, my husband left. I've been by myself taking care of the kids. I've been emotional eating. Why? What, you know, when you ask someone why 7 times, you're really able to dig deep. You're really able to get to the root of the problem. There's always an issue. There's always a problem. People don't come to you because they're feeling like they're in Disney World. People are coming to you because they're rock bottom and they're looking for a lifesaver. They need a helping hand, and you are their helping hand. And when somebody comes to me, boy, I treat it as so. I talk to them and I promise them that I'm going to be here to help them every step of the way. I don't take this lightly. When someone is coming to you, they're coming to you because they're really in a tough, difficult situation. Do you do 7 whys when you first talk to someone? Absolutely. Because if I'm going to offer a solution, I need to find out what the problem is. Yeah. Because it's never just about pizza and diet soda. There's always something a little bit deeper than that. Feeling of unfulfillment, maybe something, your career, whatever it is. But it's important to get good. And I'll teach you guys how to share the story tomorrow, and I'll give you guys some helpful questions. I'll dig through them in my little index card box. But I'll give you some great questions to ask people to figure out what's going on so you can better assist them. Guys, you're everything. You're a cheerleader, you're someone's angel, you're a life coach, you're a weight loss coach, you're someone's savior, you're their preacher, you're their cheerleader. I mean, everything. So, you know, take this role of coaching seriously. It's very honorable and it's a very noble role. And I can't think of a better way to help more people, physically and financially. So back to the decluttering. I think that it's absolutely important to keep a system. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys now because I didn't pull it up, but I have an Excel file. If you do not have a master list, you don't have a business, honestly, because, you know, 1 year in, maybe you're picking like your first 5 family members, and then maybe 2 years in, you know, you're making friends off Facebook. But because this is so important to be following up, it's very important for you to keep a list. And that list of names is going to stay with you everywhere. I'm trying to pull it up, but I can give you an example anyway if I just open up my Excel. And let me share screen. Okay, I see, Jenny, can you see my screen? Okay, perfect. So this is what I do, okay? So this is the person that I speak to. Let's say I spoke to Angela Maresca. I spoke to her on 12/2, and she did not sign up, and her excuse was money, okay? Then I speak to Jenny Snyder. Jenny will go on a different list, and Jenny signed up December 15th, 2016 with a 30-day pack, and I put her on my right leg, and she lost 10 pounds. You want to keep a list of everyone, and then at the end of the week, I separate my list from the ones who I need to be following up with and the ones who actually did enroll. I have a ginormous, I literally put every single Facebook name in here, and I wish I could find it now. I'll be better prepared tomorrow. Isogenics list, could this be it? These are all my enrollments, guys. This is the old list. But here is the name of the person. 30-day system, April 20th, right side. This is an old list. This is the one who hit consultant. This is halfway to consultant. This is a preferred customer. I also put their weight. This is an old list. But this is how I stay organized. This is my page of people who enrolled. And then this is my master list of every single person. Because guess what? You know, the same way I have to send myself text messages during the day because I'll forget. I forget all the people that I've spoken to or that I need to follow up with, or every single inbox message. And you can't rely on Facebook messages to look back. You know, you can't do that. You have to have a system. And I just like something simple like Excel. So I have a list of everyone who's enrolled, and then I have my master list of names. And anytime you meet someone, you add someone to Facebook. Anytime you think of someone, you have to add them to your master list. I started out 3.5 years ago. My list had I started with 100 names, and now I have about 4,000 people on that list. Right? So your list is going to grow with you as your business grows, as you meet a waiter in a diner who you think is amazing, as you meet someone on Facebook, as you meet someone in a boutique who you've connected with and you're like, oh, I love her, I'm putting her on the list. It doesn't mean that you have to talk to them about your company immediately, but you want to have that list. I mean, if you don't have a list, you don't have a business, you have a hobby, period. Because a million times a day, I'll get like a brain fart and I'll be like, oh, I got to contact her. I love the things that she's posting. And if I don't write it down or text it to myself or put her on my master list, I swear to God, 3 weeks will go by and I won't even think of her. And you know what? I would really kick myself in the ass if she went and signed up with somebody else because I didn't put her on my list or talk with her. And that's happened. That's happened to many of us. So use Excel lists, stay organized. And then what I have in front of me is the people. I have a whiteboard, and these are the people who I have enrolled in the past 2 months. I want their names next to me. I want to make sure I'm checking in on them. I want to make sure I've done the 5-day phone call, the week 1 Facebook post. I want to follow up with people, and having them on Excel is too far away. So I feel if I have them in my visual, you see my whiteboard up there? Yeah. So if I have them in my visual, so I have Courtney, 12-3. Then I have Christine, 12-3. So those were all my enrollments. As I finish the month of December, I will go ahead and erase the ones from October and start adding there. So I always have the most current 2 months on my visual in front of me. Because when you girls start enrolling, 8 people a month, 10 people a month, when the enrollments begin to elevate, you want to have some kind of organized system. I want to know who I need to check in on. Hey, I haven't heard from Anna in a while. Let me shoot her a quick message. Hey, girl, how are you doing? Tell me how the program is. Tell me. If your clients are quiet, they're going through some shit and they don't want to tell you. So a simple phone call, a simple I believe in you, a simple how are you doing, just checking in on you, that makes all the difference between excellent customer service. You want to provide that 5-star service. You want your people coming back. You want them reordering next month. And guess what? Our company pays us an additional $25 bonus for that reorder. So it pays to talk with them. It pays to be involved. It pays to be a great coach and follow up with people. You want that retention. So being systemized, being organized, filing, scheduling appointments, I think is very important. Honestly, I even started doing it with my friends now. I know we're so busy with life, with work, with everything going on, with our network marketing business. I would message, even Ed, and I talk to Ed like 10 times a week. I always inbox him and I'm like, hey buddy, is it a good time for us to talk? I don't just roll up on people and call people because I want to be courteous and respectful. And you should demand that same respect from your clients. Your clients should not be calling you 24/7, right? Guys, we sell shakes. We're not doctors on call. Nothing is that serious. Nothing is that serious from drinking a protein shake, okay? You don't have to be on call 24/7. You don't. And if your clients want to speak to you, just say, hey, do me a favor, shoot me a text or inbox me before you call. Do you order a specific schedule book online, or is it a generic book from the store? It is a generic book from Staples, and I like the ones that have the hourly schedules. This way I can see exactly what time. It's called the At a Glance Academic Planner. And I got it from Staples, and I like it because it has like an hourly. It has from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. This way I can just plug people in. So that's my planner. As long as it has the hours, I've learned to block out the hours that I'm busy. If you go to the gym every day, put a block in that time. Literally block it out with a highlighter. If you're open for business between 10:30 and 2:30, schedule appointments. If your book is blank, you ain't got much business going on this week. You don't want a blank book. Your main objective is to schedule appointments. Who am I going to speak to? Who can I have the conversation with? Catch up with an old friend. All you're doing is booking appointments. That's it. Who am I going to talk to? Network marketers are on the phone, guys. Network marketing is not just from Facebook. Facebook is a simple lead creation generator. It is not your be-all and end-all. I've done most of my business from Facebook, but guess what? Had I not pulled them offline and gotten them on the phone and shared my heartfelt story with them, I wouldn't have had the enrollments that I have. You can post until you're blue in the face. If you're not going to get them offline and share your heart, your story, you're not going to get the sign up. So that's very important. So following up, scheduling appointments, setting business hours. One very important thing that I challenge you all to do shut off the Facebook notifications. You guys put up a great post and 40 people like it, and 40 times you've gone on and checked to see who liked it. How is that helping you with your business? One of your teammates puts up a great post. You comment, yay, great job. Every person that likes or comments, you're going to get a notification. How many times have you gone on to check somebody else's notification who has nothing to do with your business? It's a waste of time. Set business hours for Facebook. Shut off the notifications. You don't need to go on and have a peek every time someone likes your status. Unless you have a Facebook inbox message, what's the point of checking a like? Most of the time, it's our team supporting us, which is awesome, but that's not going to get us paid. Try to put the Facebook down. It's better to go through 50 notifications and see which ones are important as opposed to checking in every single time you have one. So I do shut the notifications sometimes, and I do put the phone down sometimes. And yesterday we all talked about setting goals. I want you guys to set a small goal for January. And I'd like to, at the end of our 5 days, to see what our January goals are. I did some goal setting today with Irina, Vicky, Sophia, Lisa, Courtney, and we've got some great goals for January. You know, Courtney's racing to crystal manager. Irina wants to hit executive. I'd like to, you know, create 2 more consultants, enroll 10 people. You've got to celebrate your victories. If you don't take time to love on yourself, to celebrate yourself, to pat yourself on the back and to say, damn, I worked my ass off this month. I'm going to drink that glass of champagne and celebrate for the effort that I put in. You're not a machine. You have to take time to rejoice and look back at your accomplishments and say, am I proud of my activity, or could I or should I have done something better? Right? So it's about putting in the action. It's about putting in the work. It's about getting uncomfortable. And then it's about stopping, celebrating, reflecting, making some adjustments, some tweaks, some modifications, saying, you know what, I had 80 conversations. I didn't enroll anyone. Maybe I'm not good at enrolling yet. Maybe the next month I'm going to schedule all 3 ways with someone who is a great enroller. This is about evaluating what you're good at and working on it, and looking at the things that you're not so good at and working on it. This is growth. This is learning. You know, this is not, you're not going to get fired. Guess what? You're the boss. So if you want to stay stuck, you stay stuck. If you have a desire to improve, you can absolutely improve every single day in this business, but you can't beat yourself up. You have to take time to celebrate the good. Right? So we're going to set some goals. I would love to see you all at the end of January in our group talking about what you have accomplished and how you've hit your goals. And I'm going to assign you guys an accountability partner who you can set some long-term goals with and some short-term goals with, and just check in on one another sometimes and say, hey, girl, I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. Don't forget about them goals. You know, and sometimes that simple pat on the back, sometimes that simple reassurance from someone, it keeps you going. So before I let you guys go, let me unmute and see if anyone has any questions or comments or feedback about time commitment, eliminating distractions, and organization.
Angela, I have a question.
Yep, I see you, Liz.
Hi. So I see, you know, the planners that everyone's using and everything, and I used to be a planner and used planners in the past, but I find now with my schedule to use my phone calendar, and it's just a system that works well for me now, and I'm just wondering if that's, people say that, you know, you should put it down, write it down, instead of keeping it on your phone. Do you think that's okay, or?
You know, I think whatever works for you, you have to go with. For me, I need to see a visual. Like tonight, before I go to bed, I know that tomorrow I see what I have coming up, and I'm already mentally preparing for it tomorrow.
Right.
I don't use my phone to schedule appointments because I feel like it will remind me an hour before. And I need to see and have my day in front of me. And also, when I have this blank book, it makes me feel like shit. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't have any appointments scheduled for tomorrow. And it kind of puts me in action. Like I'll go on Facebook and I'll be like, hey, Jeff, we haven't spoken in a while. Let's chat tomorrow. Let's catch up. I feel like the open book gives me a visual and a sense of accomplishment, whether I'm being productive, whether I have appointments in my book, or whether I need to get my butt in gear and schedule some appointments in my book. So
Thank you.
for me personally, a visual planner has been working great. I like it because it keeps me on my toes. And you know what? I feel like I can look back at the year I've had and I can reflect on the numbers and I can say, man, I had a hell of a lot more appointments in 2015 than I did in 2016. So in 2017, I better step up my game. Yeah, I like the visual.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Liz. Who else?
I have a question.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. Well, since I just started yesterday, I really don't have a story to tell. So what should I be doing now to kind of get things going? I mean, I can't talk about my accomplishment other than I made it through day 1 and 2. You know?
Yeah.
Which is great, I'm not complaining. I'm happy about that. But what can I do to get myself, set up so that I can just take off?
That is a great question, Karen. Can you see my screen right now?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. So I will direct you right now to Isogenics Business, isogenicsbusiness.com.
Okay.
And when you go to isogenicsbusiness.com, there's a Start Here tab. And I literally just went 1 through 6. So number 1, use the products. You can go to ISA Product, get to know the products better. You can register for the ISA Body Challenge. It's a great $25,000 competition.
I took my pictures.
Fantastic. But what I would really say is go to number 2 and work on your contact list. And I love this. And anyone can use it, whether you're with our company or not. Anyone can use this. But who do you know? Start working on your list, Karen.
Well, I actually have a list of probably about 180 people right now.
Awesome.
So what I'm starting, I kind of know what my story is going to be. I know what my why is.
Yeah.
My why.
So here's how I'm going to show you. I'm going to get more in depth about it. But right now, you don't have a story, but you do have the truth. And the truth is, after watching my cousin Lisa, sister-in-law, I'm sorry, I knew there was a relation, I forgot what it was. But after watching my sister-in-law Lisa lose 20 pounds, and completely rave about her energy, I was very curious to give it a try. And I did. And I'm seeing so many results and I'm seeing so many people get healthy. And I knew you would kill me if I didn't share this with you. But I'm on it. I'm on day 2 when I feel fantastic. And I can't wait to let you know what the results are going to be.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, you can't, I have to be honest that our story's not going to resonate with every single person, right? Maybe we have an athlete who wants to gain 15 pounds of lean muscle. Courtney is a fitness instructor who wanted to lean out a little bit. She didn't have the 30-pound weight loss story like I did. But what I have gotten to know is the stories in our group, the stories of our members. And what I have become great at is sharing their stories.
Everybody's stories, right?
Yes, and that's all you are, my dear. You're a storyteller. And right now you can share my story, you can share Donna's story, you can share Lisa's story. You're witnessing these women change before your very eyes. And that's all you're doing is you're sharing your excitement. You're creating curiosity. You're saying stand back and watch. Because in 1 week, in 15 days, in 30 days, you're going to see me just like them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Keep working on that list and start learning by going to Isogenics Business, the Start Here tab. It's a great place to begin. It's a wonderful fundamental training, comp plan, everything in there. Videos of Jim Coover, our founder, he actually created our compensation plan, and just to watch him present it live I was at the event, and I'm so happy they videotaped it because it's mind-blowing. Awesome. Thank you for asking, Karen. Anyone else have any questions? Do you guys think this was a little bit helpful with the organization?
Very helpful.
Eliminating distractions, with asking time, freedom from your family, asking permission, asking for some kindness and empathy while you really give this a go. Yeah, awesome.
Angela, can I ask one more thing?
Yeah, of course, Liz.
Sorry. So you were mentioning before when you ask people, to send you referrals, you were telling them, make sure they don't mention Isogenics and, don't get into the details. Do you mind posting that in the boot camp group just so I have that lingo? Because that's something that I've asked people to share, and then they share too much, and it's backfired for sure.
This is actually what I sent to someone who is on week 1 of their program and is happy and is experiencing results.
Okay.
So once they experience results, I go ahead and give them a brief little training via Facebook. Sometimes I'm not always able to get on the phone with them, but I do want to send them concrete instructions, because guess what? If you don't instruct people on how and what to post, they're going to show the box, they're going to show the name of the program. The whole premise of posting on Facebook is to create a little curiosity, fun, sexiness, take it offline and on the phone. If you spew out all the information, it's $3.99, you could get it here, order from my website. There's no conversation. Right. There's no emotional connection. You can't get to the core of their problem. So it really is about creating that curiosity. So I just posted it in the 5-day group now.
Thank you so much.
It's labeled new person, how to post on Facebook.
Great, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Liz. Anyone else have any questions, anything on their mind, anything on their heart that's kind of that they want to ask and, shouldn't wait until tomorrow?
I think we're good.
You guys are better than good.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for this training. It's helping me a lot.
You're very welcome, and I'm so happy you agreed to join. I know that you're not with our company, but you know what? I think that there is a mutual respect between all network marketers, and I think that any success story is a great success story, regardless of what company you're with.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm so happy to have you here, Ms. Powell.
Thank you.
All right, girls. Have a wonderful night, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll learn how to share our story.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.